Welcome back to another episode of Miles, Mountains, and Brews. I am Nicholas Coleman with my dude, Brady Hagan. How are you, Brady?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man.
Yeah?
Happy to be here.
Yeah? Not as a guest, but
Yes,
as a
not
permanent...
as a guest this time, but as a permanent member of the pod. Let's go.
How does that feel?
It feels great.
Especially...
I'm happy.
Especially since, we were going to do 9.75 because we could.
Yeah, we talked about 9.5 and then 9.75, and
because it sounded great.
Now we're just calling it straight up 10.
Episode 10.
I love it.
Welcome.
Let's get it.
So with episode 10, normally when we do the 9.5, we talk about the
things
left unsaid.
The halves, the 0.5s.
The 0.5s, but the 0.75, it made sense because there was 3 people. Get it?
And we wanted to go a little bit deeper than your normal 0.5 that you've been doing.
Correct. And it wasn't like a scolding session. It wasn't going to be like a regular session at all. It was just going to be what we did, what we drank. But there was one thing that we did leave. We left out.
We left it on the table and we didn't address it.
Yes, and I have the notes still from
all right.
From that episode. But as you're drinking your Three Creeks.
Yep. Crowd Pleaser IPA once again.
I'm actually
doing Are you still having a juice box right now?
I'm doing a Capri Sun, Roaring Waters.
Oh, a juice pouch. I love it.
A Roaring Waters, Tropical Tide. Shout out to Capri Sun.
And Three Creeks from Sisters.
Yes.
Sisters, Oregon. We love that place.
Yes. So, Blue Mountains. You talked about it. You went hunting there, but we didn't even talk about what is it? We see them from a distance, but with snow in the winter,
trying to see them from the Tri-Cities when it's all snowy, and on a real clear day you can see them way out there in the distance. But yeah. I think what people don't realize about the Blues is that, like, I just heard my sister, who's an outdoor fanatic, she's saying that we're 3 hours away from the best hiking in the U.S., which is the Cascades.
Okay.
I agree with her, but I also disagree because the Blues are some of the best hiking that you can get in Washington State, period.
Okay.
It doesn't look like they're much, but there's some real mountains out there. They're not just those rolling little foothills. They're actual, real mountains, and I can attest to that after hiking around them for a weekend.
Yeah. So a lot of people do think it's just foothills until you get there. And then... What also, you hear blues, but you hear Snake River. Snake River takes over the blues. You hear, the Cascades, but you never hear about the blues. Blues is just something on the east, the southeastern part of Washington between, or the border of Oregon and Idaho, right?
Yeah. So a little bit of Idaho in there too.
Yeah. But you never ever hear anybody like, oh, the blues.
They're amazing, man.
You don't see the Blues until you go to Walla Walla. You don't go. You don't see that until you go to Dayton.
Waitsburg area.
Waitsburg, yeah.
And I would even say that Waitsburg, you start to get into the rolling hills, which are the foothills, and I put that in quotation marks, air quotes.
Yeah.
They're the foothills of the Blues, because they aren't as high as the Cascades, but they are every bit as much of mountains as Cascades. You still get the cliffs, you still get the snow caps. You get the rolling hills at the bottom, like when you're going out of Ellensburg, you start seeing those foothills. It's the same as when you hit Waitsburg. Then once you're into Dayton, it's real mountains up there.
What about the steepness, man? Like the elevation, like you can go from 0 to 1,000 in less than a mile, right?
You could probably do that in a third of a mile in some areas, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some areas where you don't even want to think about trying to hike up it because it's so steep. I mean, it's a 45, 50, 60 degree pitch.
Yeah.
And it's no joke.
Yeah.
It's slick, too, because it's all that lava rock, and it just rolls out under your feet.
It's also green and luscious, too. It's not like, the dry Cascade foothills, where Natchez, Packwood, it starts getting a little more green, but, Yakima area. And a lot of people think those hills over there aren't much. I went and ran a few races there, and That was the worst race I've ever done. Just
Out
because
around like White Pass, the entry to there, out of Natchez area.
Because you start from the bottom, and man, you're going 60% grade. So
it feels vertical.
It does. And then when you got people like slinking effect,
pushing you up, and then people slowing you down.
Yep. It's crazy.
For sure.
It makes me feel like I'm back in the army, and
running lines.
Dude, serious, yeah. So the Blue Mountains, you mostly hunt in the Blue Mountains, right?
Yes, I do all my big game hunting in the Blue Mountains, just because in Washington State, I don't know the exact percentages of private land versus public land, but most of all of the great hunting is all private because it's all farmland.
Yeah.
At least on eastern side where we're at. So I go up to the National Forest, which is feel free to hunt.
Yeah.
And you just go up there and drive around till you find a spot to park and then go hike some steep hills.
I have a buddy, as I have my Capri Sun in my hand.
Yes, sir.
I have a buddy who's there right now. Caleb, you met him, right?
I think so,
He's in there right now. The first day of hunting season, he got a deer.
Really?
Yeah, he got a deer.
Dang.
3 years in a row now.
Wow, he must have some good spots up there.
Yeah, he's just checking it out, and you know what? He gave me a picture of that pizza place.
Chief Springs Fire and Irons.
Yes. He's like,
it's a long name. It's Chief Springs Fire and Irons.
Yeah. So he sent me that. He's like, I didn't get anything yet. It's 3 days, but he's glassing. He's glassing, and
that's a lot of what it is in the blues. It's just pulling up on a hillside and glassing.
Oh yeah, and he definitely is glassing. He's very fortunate of being out there, just being out there. He's the type of guy that will just go and tick infestated, just.
Oh yeah. It's
I hate ticks, man, and the amount he says he pulls off, it's not appealing. So I commend him and everything he does, and he's quite the adventurous guy, especially when it comes.
Part of the thing with the ticks is that up in the blues, you see the windward side where the wind hits the mountain. Yeah. It's so dry. It's just cheat grass, couple of trees, nothing. It's bare. And then on the back side of that, the leeward side, is where all of the rain will kind of wrap around the hill. All of the seeds fall back there because of the wind.
Yeah, you were talking about that. You had that great analogy. What was it? From the Cascades to the Blues? You said something, man. I was like, dude, you need to keep that.
Man, I should have written it down.
Yeah.
You
almost got it. The seeds and everything else, the wind.
The leeward side of the hill, where the wind kind of wraps around. Like if you have a building that's facing the wind, and one side is getting hit straight, the back side is always going to get the tumbleweeds out in eastern Washington. That's where they're going to pile up.
That's how it is in
and it's the same in the blues.
Okay.
Because there's spots in the blues where they come down into a valley, and it's 8-10 foot brush that. I mean, good luck getting through unless you find a game trail. And those are, at best, 8-10 inches wide.
Man, even the game trails at Wallula Lookout or Overlook, man, there's game trails everywhere. Like, which one to go? Which one do you take?
And it all depends whether you want to go up the mountain or down the mountain.
Right?
You just got to kind of choose the one that kind of meanders up or down.
So as I peak more, I always take the highest trail.
Yeah. You want to get up fast, trail, right?
I always take the highest trail.
You want to get up to the top.
As more, if there's a fork, I'm always taking the highest one, man. So
and it's not a bad way to do it.
No, but hey, so did you know the Wallowa Mountain Range is part of the Blues?
Really?
Yeah. I
did not know that. I never expected it.
Like the
just
Whitman Mountains
distance.
And all that stuff. Yeah, it's part of the Blues. I was reading about it. Yeah, man, I did my research, and it's pretty interesting, man. You've been out Wallowa Mountains, right?
I've been out to Wallowa Lake. I've driven through the area, but I haven't actually gotten on the land.
It's like the Bavarian Alps, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll take your word for it, because I haven't been out there.
No? Oh, man. Well, we're going to
I've driven through, but I haven't gotten my boots on the ground out there.
We're going to go, because, man, I've been talking to Kevin, and Kevin's like, we need a plan. I'm like, dude, I know.
Let's do it. And for all of you guys, Kevin is my father-in-law. He's the guy I went hunting with.
That's all the cougar.
Not last weekend, but the weekend before. He did see the cougar. I jumped out to chase it, but I cut a track, and we didn't feel like chasing it down because it was up a 65-degree angle mountain.
Right.
And it was some work. I mean, I was getting up there, but coming back down, I slid 4 or 5 times just within 50 yards.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Just the story that Caleb was talking about, how he almost died on and he caught himself on this little soon-to-be tumbleweed branch. It's like, dude, how did you manage that? So...
Goes quick.
Yeah, it goes quick, man. Especially, where else? The Natchez Packwood area, man. The crest of the Cascade range.
Oh, it's such a beautiful area. I just got the chance to drive through there for maybe the 4th time.
Yeah.
I went to go pick up my great-grandma, and just driving up, I saw that place, Bronyar.
Yeah.
You got the sticker up here.
I do.
But I was driving by, and I was like, oh, I recognize that sign. I recognize that name. And just this little tiny highway side pizza joint looking deal. But apparently it's got the best pizza in the state.
I would say
At least according to you.
I would say so.
I'll have to take your word, because I went through at about 10 a.m. and they weren't open. I was really bummed.
We'll go, because I'm going to go to White Pass a couple times this year. Probably do some Nordic stuff.
Speaking of White Pass, are we going to hit up snowboard and skiing on some mountains this year?
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
Somewhere close, just because, man, like within intermediate
2-3 hour drive.
2-3 hour drive. That's just like how I go out in the hiking and everything else.
I mean, with that, we could hit White Pass, we could hit Snoqualmie, we could hit Leavenworth, we can hit Mission Ridge, we can hit Anthony Lakes. There's Bluewood right there.
Anything with the Nordic part is good, because it's cross-country skiing and snowshoeing and everything else. Yeah. I need to get my workout too. I know skiing, it's people think of it not being a workout, but
if you don't ski a lot and then you go up for like the first time of the year, or the first time in a few years, you feel like you got ran over by a Mack truck.
Exactly.
It is a full body workout, because you're trying to keep your balance on something that is slippery.
Yeah. And then another thing, man. You hit a bar or pub there, right? What do you remember what it was called?
Blue Spruce. I think it was Blue Spruce Bar. Right there in Packwood. I stopped in for lunch, and they had a
good burger.
Oh, the burger was amazing.
What kind was it?
It was a bacon cheeseburger. I wish it was a double, because it wasn't. I mean, I was hungry.
Was the patty real, or was it something that you would...
No, they hand pattied it.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell. They had some mushroom and some onion in there.
What?
And it was so good that I wish it was a double.
What?
But they had some great local IPAs there from, I think, Packwood Brewing Company.
I was checking that out, man.
Is the place of it. But they're just right down the highway on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't go there is because I saw the Blue Spruce Bar, and I was like, that place looks pretty good. It looks like a hole-in-the-wall local shop. And I was getting in there right as they opened. So everything was fresh. Everything was good. Beers were cold. Oh, it was just a great little spot.
I was checking out the Packwood brewery. I think we're going to have to test it out, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I had their hazy IPA, and it's definitely something to bring back. They didn't have any cans or growlers even.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have brought you some to try.
Crowlers? Oh yeah. Speaking of, I got a crowler of Cochise for you from Iconic Brewery. Shout out Iconic Brewery.
To try that one.
Oh, dude, it's good. It's probably, like I've told them, and Stefan, shout out to Stefan, he definitely knows how, I'm like the hype man for that, because I've had some West Coast IPAs in Cali, Oregon, but dude, the Washington.
And you've done some brew tours so far.
I have, and it's pretty good, man, and when I do the tours, I'll get 3 beers max. 3 beers max, just because gotta be responsible, right?
Yeah, you don't want to get too trashy.
Yeah. So I mostly bring this stuff home for these podcasts or for parties, and man, we had a lot of parties this past weekend. So, White Pass, Packwood, Natchez, what are your thoughts on that? Besides the snow, besides it being dry as heck, But
on one side, and then as soon as you crest that,
Right?
it's just straight rainforest on the other.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I've been over White Pass a few times, but it was still mind blowing to go from the dry Walla Walla, Natchez, Yakima area, and then you come up to the top of it, and it starts getting more green, and then right as you summit,
evergreen.
oh my goodness, it's like, okay, there's ferns, there's this,
Right?
there's this. It looks like the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
and like people saying like it's advertised.
Yeah, U.S. Route 12 is the road, and
Yep.
man, that's probably the most brutal in the snow, but most beautiful in the spring. Well, once it opens.
Yes,
Once
if
it
it gets
opens,
closed,
Once it opens.
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But when it's open, it is. I mean, whether you're in a minivan or a high-end sports car, it is just a beautiful, fun drive.
A lot of people ride their motorcycles down the road and just
huge
zip.
motorcycle spot.
Dude, they take those turns out in the other lane. I'm like, nah, man.
No,
I'm good.
I can't cross the yellow line.
Dude, they do. They do. It's dangerous, but man, yeah. The blues in the crest of the Cascade Range, man, they are so underrated, and it's crazy because everybody like Cascades, you know, Olympic Peninsula. But dude, you got the
They don't realize that. I mean, the Cascades are there. Yes, it is some of, like my sister said, it's some of the best hiking in the nation,
Right.
in her opinion. But the blues are absolutely amazing. There's Forest Service roads that wrap through the blues. You can get
for miles.
You can get onto a Forest Service road out of Dayton, and you can drive all the way to Walla Walla without touching pavement, without touching a highway. It's just all through beautiful mountain roads that some of them aren't that well. Like, they're washboard roads. They're bouncy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I wouldn't recommend taking, like, a Ford Focus through there.
No.
But if you have a Subaru, anything with a little bit of ground clearance, by all means, it's a beautiful drive. Take the whole family and go up and find a little meadow or find a mountaintop and have some lunch. Just experience it.
Okay. When I think about those, man, those roads, I think about Deliverance. You ever watch that movie?
I can't say that I have. I can't even
you
say
gotta,
I've seen
dude,
bits
it's
and
a
pieces.
pretty BA movie, man. Bad A movie,
Alrighty,
you know?
Yep. Here, I'm going to flip a coaster over and start writing notes.
Here, I got notes, man. Here, I got a note card.
All right.
You got, it's, besides, you know, squealing like a pig, that reference, it's pretty BA, dude. The actors alone, and it's that, you know? Yeah, that, it's pretty good, man. Him and that bow, man. Oh, God, I forgot his name. Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Reynolds.
I've definitely heard that name. If you haven't heard that name,
And then John
haven't seen any
Voight.
movies.
Dude, those guys, they were young. And then Beatty. Beatty is the guy that had to squeal like a pig. And that was a little traumatizing. But, man, if you can get past that, dude, that movie is legit.
I mean, if you're a hunter, you can definitely get past that. No problem.
I squeal like a pig, though, man. I don't know. So, man, so you went on your trip. Grandma's okay? She turned 93?
92.
92.
Yeah, 92 this last week, and she is still sharp as a whip.
Yeah?
She will put you in your place and check you like nobody else.
And what day was that?
That was Wednesday of last week.
So last Tuesday, I almost got myself in trouble with the
How'd
old
you
lady.
do that?
With the old lady. Because that Tuesday, you know, it's just been a hectic week
It's Taco
already.
Tuesday, right?
Taco Tuesday, but didn't get tacos. But I did go to trivia. And man, I rocked it. And you were there.
I was for the first round and a half.
Yeah.
when I had to dip out.
It was great.
It was. The first round, we crushed it. We killed it.
Yeah, I never did that. I've never done that trivia there. I'll do it, but I think I have to take the old lady next time.
Yeah.
But man, they got that.
I do too.
Right? And Celinda was there. Shout out to Celinda.
Yeah.
But man,
fellow listener.
right? Lazy River Tap House.
I was surprised. I walked in there, and it's just in this little strip mall right out on Van Giesen past the Circle K, and I was like, how great can this be? Like, it's tiny little building, tiny little strip, but you walk in and you're like, wow, this feels great. It's comforting, it's inviting. All of their Halloween decorations were amazing. I was blown away by their decor and how much they had done, how much effort they put forward into that alone.
Yeah.
And then all of their signs with their beers, all hand-drawn chalk and hand-drawn logos.
What impressed me the most was just the hometown feel, right?
Yeah, local feel.
You don't get that often around here. Like I said, everything's commercialized. But the one thing that I was impressed by is that Melissa and I believe her husband handpick the beers.
Yes.
They travel and handpick.
Melissa was saying that she travels to Portland, Spokane, like all of these bigger cities to hit these smaller breweries.
Yep.
She'll sample them, she'll try them, and then puts kegs in her car to bring home.
So we had the beer. It was Lumberbeard Brewing IPA.
Yes, Lumberbeard.
Lumberbeard, yes. Lumberbeard Brewing. Out of Spokane. And man, that IPA was
out of Spokane?
good. Yeah, it was citrusy.
Dang good beer.
Yeah. But guess what? She updated her brew list.
Yeah.
No more Lumberbeard. She was like, that came out, or that finished off real quick. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah. That was a popular one.
Yeah, it was, man. It was good. It was one of my favorites. But man, they have ciders. They even have a gluten-free beer. I'm not a...
I was surprised with that. I was reading the sign and I didn't expect to see that, and then I was like, huh. So they're really hitting all demographics there while maintaining the hometown feel.
Yeah.
Which is what I feel like a lot of breweries now, especially around Tri-Cities, Eastern Washington area, they're trying to appeal as much as they can to everybody. So they're not really having their own niche.
Yeah.
But that place has its own, I mean, it just feels like a hometown bar.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the Blue Spruce Bar that I stopped in at. It just feels hometown.
You don't have that much feel unless you go out of town, you know? Like
you got to hit the small places.
Yeah, like Dayton, Whitesburg.
So I was surprised to have that aura and that just kind of feeling there.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, man. So that's definitely a keeper, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people. They're very lovely. I'm going to keep going there, man.
Speaking of Lazy River, aren't we doing something there on Saturday?
Yes and no. Yes.
I thought I heard a little bit about it, but I wanted to
yes and no.
double check.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So, on the agenda, right? I did some traveling by myself, right? On Friday.
Where'd you go?
Man, I wanted to go to Pendleton.
Yes, we talked about that. We
Wanted to go, but you know what? I went to Prosser, just down the road, Prosser, Washington, down the road, and went to the Horse Heaven Saloon.
Ooh, you were talking about that meatball sandwich. Are you
not a meatball?
No, not meatball.
They look like balls.
So correct
balls. But it's meatloaf sandwich. So they're gizzards, top notch.
That's
top
what you're
notch.
saying.
Washington State breweries, man. There's 2 breweries that I know of so far that have gizzards, and being raised in the South, dude, those gizzards, man, are hit and miss. But dude, these guys hit it. And so meatloaf, man, is another Southern thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was shocked. It was huge. I didn't even know how to start it. You know how I ate it though? Don't get upset.
No, dude, no judgment.
I ate it with a fork and knife.
Huh. It was that big, huh?
It was that big, but
felt like a steak almost.
No. But it was like buttered toast, like Texas toast.
Okay.
And meatloaf. It looked like 2 meatballs, but huge ones, right?
Like huge chunks of meatloaf. Though.
Like huge chunk.
Like how many inches are we talking here?
I think of the size of these
3
earmuffs. Man.
Oh, so we're like a 4 and a half.
Big, man.
Okay, damn.
Yeah. So, but on top of the meatloaf, man, they have bacon. Meatloaf is only with ketchup for me, and the onions and the breadcrumbs and stuff
everything
like that.
Yeah.
Inside of it. But man, you get that layer of ketchup that's cooked and marinated on, right? I'm getting hungry right now. Just think about it. They have the bacon. You taste that bacon once you cut in the meatloaf, right? But then they got cheddar. I didn't touch the cheddar. I took it.
You just scraped it off the side?
I scraped it off the side. I'm not a big... if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So
True, I mean, if they're putting it on there, there's a reason.
So next time I talk to... Man, dude, best thing about being out is you get to know people.
You get to have the opportunity to talk to people about what they're doing and what they're
Exactly.
preparing and what they're about.
So Crystal and Kat. Crystal was telling me about how next time, don't get the cheese. I'm like, sweet, okay.
Just like hold the cheese?
Yeah, hold the cheese. She's
Alrighty.
like, do that, we can do it. But man, they were the only two manning the lunch.
Really? Just two?
Yeah, she was telling us. Because I told her
On
I
a
was,
full
I was
lunch
taking a
rush.
mental health day, right? I'm very open about that. Because
Mental
there's
health
nothing.
is very important.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm just having a beer at 11 something in the morning, you know.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that if it's your mental health day.
Right.
And that's what helps you. That's what helps
I
you,
had
man.
one beer there. I was very, very, very disappointed in they didn't have their Buck Off IPA, their mainstay.
Ooh.
So I had to go with the Ruby Spur.
You've posted a picture of that
It's an
Buck
amber.
Off IPA.
It's an amber. It's 5.1.
With the Ruby Spurs and amber?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But the IPAs, man.
Dude, I just got to reference back to Chief Springs Fire and Irons. Their IPA is so-so. I like my IPAs. If I have a choice, I'm going to go for the IPA.
Yeah.
But their amber blows the IPA out of the water.
Yeah.
Over at Chief Springs.
Man, Amber, No Lie has a good Amber too, the
Yeah.
Porch Glow. But so I was talking to the lady. They had finally they had all their Horse Heaven Hills Brewery beers available. But man, she said something about fresh hops, and I told her I need to talk to Gary. So
And
I'm
Gary
gonna go back.
is...
Gary's the brewmaster, the owner of the not of the saloon, but of the brewery.
Okay.
So
okay.
he mans the station on Saturday. So I might just make another trip there. And hey, Gary, let's talk, please.
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
Yeah, man. It just so I'm gonna shout out Crystal and Kat, two great workers there, just manning the station and working like nobody's business.
So
So
just two of them to be on lunch rush, man. They got to be on their dime.
spent $20, tipped them 10. So
That says something.
right? So yeah. And then I stopped by. You ever hear of Whitstran Brewing?
I think I've heard of it from you.
Yeah, I met a guy, Sherman. He's the owner of Whitstran Steak and Spirits, right?
Okay.
I got a beer there. They only had two of the beers, and then they had a Payette, like juicy pale ale, juicy IPA. Wasn't a fan. But I tried their IPA and their pale ale, and I never had a malt beer like that in my life.
It was a malt beer.
It was an amber, I believe. It was malty.
Yeah.
Malty. I never had a malty beer like that.
So what flavor notes did you get out of that one?
Malt.
Just malt. I like it. That's a decent description.
Malt, but man, the cool thing is the steak and spirits. It's high in one side where the bar is, and then like in the back, that's where, like an old eatery, not old eatery, but like, like a 50s, 60s kind of feel to it.
Like diner-ish
bench, yeah,
feel?
diner-ish.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But the benches are deep and you just sit in those things,
Just kind of cozy, sit there for a few hours.
Oh yeah, and enjoy
like
a ribeye. But
Ooh. So you say it's a like steakhouse type deal. Is it like, do they have a separate brewery, like a brew house
right down the road from the
Taphouse?
saloon.
Okay, but then they throw them into the steakhouse too. They bring some beers over there.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. He says it's not as fresh. It's not as fresh as at the brewery because things settle. And,
Yeah.
But if you look up Whitstran Brewery, you go automatically to Steak and Spirits. So they weren't open. The brewery wasn't open, but I did get two of their beers, and you know what? I have to check them out. I have to check them out again.
Is that Whitstrand or Wint? Win.
So it's a little place. Sherman was telling me it was a little place, on the other side of Benton City.
Yep.
As you're going towards Prosser
From the far side from the Tri-Cities?
Yes.
Okay.
On the other side of Yakima.
Yep,
It's a little town, Whitstran. I didn't know.
Never heard of it, and I've driven a
the
lot of those
conversations
highways.
and what you learn, the more you know.
about your area.
Yeah. So he told me, man, I was getting all kinds of interested in what they, like their number one choice of meat and everything else. And dude, he told me ribeye, high-end choice cuts. They cut it themselves.
Really?
And if it is not a good slab, they don't take it, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so they said ribeye, prime rib, man, all the way.
So those are the two staples there.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy. I told him, I gave him a sticker, and said,
Nice.
hey, hit us up. But definitely told him I'll be back. But yeah, very nice guy, man. It was great. Felt like home. It felt like home. And man, I'm falling more and more in love with Prosser just because of that hometown feel. Like that downtown area.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, the nice thing about Prosser downtown is like they have a small little grocery store there, but then right across the street from that and across the corner, it's an industrial like fruit plant, like processing plant. So you get it's small town because all of the business is right there. Right. It's nice and tight. Everything's local. Everything's there. It's all, they have their own little airport there, and it's right outside of town. It's not like, drive 20 minutes to this, drive 10 minutes to this. You could walk to everywhere in Prosser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can pretty much go to the wineries, and, you can get pretty smashed. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
I'm not a winery guy, but, hey, I love taking Tracy to the winery and then ending up at a brewery, man. That's how I met, Gary in the first place. That was great. We need to go there. But
that needs to be our plan.
So after I went there, I went and got, met Stefan again. Got the Cochise, man. IPA, West Coast IPA. I got to give them a shout out, man, because that West Coast IPA is one of the best. And I tell them that. He's like, well, thanks, man. Thanks. And he told me the story behind it, and it makes sense. I'm not going to say it because I want him to say it when he's on the podcast.
Are you hinting at something in the future there?
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. So the West Coast IPA, I think the listeners are going to try it this weekend, actually.
That I've heard from you at least 3 times about how good that Cochise is, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it this weekend.
Yeah, well here you it's a crowler. You want me to have
share it with
send
me?
It up? I'll share it with you.
Alrighty, let's do it, man.
Let me call, but keep talking, man. The Cochise, right?
Yeah. What else? Like I've heard you say about the Cochise, and that's from.
Iconic.
What brewery?
Iconic.
So that's a newer brewery that's popped up in West Richland, I believe.
Richland.
By
White Bluffs, The Dive, and Bombing Range.
Okay. So they're right out there, almost by Horn Rapids area.
Yes. Then. Well, it's right across the street, pretty much.
Oh, okay. But that's an area that I did a lot of work in when I was doing my 2 jobs previous. And the area is great. When I graduated high school, I played summer ball out at Horn Rapids Baseball Complex.
There's a lot out there.
And just driving out there, even in 2014, I wished that I was old enough to stop into some of the breweries out there, some of the bars, because they just look so good.
Yeah.
They look awesome. It looks like a hometown feel, but they have kind of a modern-ish vibe to them.
Yeah.
Like with the garage doors that roll up and like exposed stuff up ahead of their
Iconic, man.
buildings.
It's a big red barn kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been out there. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
It's fairly new, like 2 months. 3 months. But man, they got it set, man. They got it going. So
weren't you saying that they're on a decent amount of land too?
Yeah.
Like they have
so they
some
have
space
concerts, they have people out there partying it up, and man,
Heck yeah.
They're setting the tone, and people see it. People are getting out of their COVID fear.
That's good. Yeah. We need to be supporting our small businesses and the people who are taking the risk of starting something new or keeping something open during this. Like, let's just shop local and spend local too.
Oh, yeah. So the guy, Stefan, they normally had 3 in-house brews. But now they have like 5 or 6. I think 6.
So you stepping the game up.
Oh yeah, so I tasted them. I didn't get a flight because I just got a little tasters, you know.
It's like little 2-ounce glass or 3-ounce glass.
Tasters.
Just enough to sip on it and see what it's about.
I'm the guy that will stick with the beer until throw up.
Yeah. I feel you there. I've been there and done that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But man, I fell in love with this one. It's a Cascadian Queen. It's a Cascadian Dark Ale. It's 6%, 50 IBUs. It's dark.
So is it dark like porter, or is it just considered a dark ale?
Dude, it is dark. It is color of that.
Like chocolate milk dark?
Darker. Black.
Oh boy, okay. It's like black coffee dark.
Yeah. You gotta try it. You can try it?
Are
you partying?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Partying?
I'll give it a shot. I've never been a big fan of porters or dark beers. Like, I'm just coming around now to reds and ambers.
It's smooth.
But if it's smooth?
It's smooth. It's not like it's not a stout or a porter. It's an ale. It's just dark.
I'll definitely give it a shot. Because I've never been a big fan of stouts or porters or anything like that.
It's good, man.
At least not yet.
I kind of... I put that on my list. And I think we got the Cochise. Okay.
Here it is.
Thank you.
A big old crowler there.
Yeah. And you gotta try it, man. I'm gonna open it right by the mic. Dude.
It's crispy. It's crispy.
Right.
I love it.
Do the honors, man. I'll finish this.
Cochise IPA, 6.2 ABV. Looks like it was canned on 10/28 out of Hygienic Brewing in Richland, Washington.
Before you drink out of that,
we don't want any.
No germies.
Yeah, no COVID symptoms here. How much you want? You say when.
I'll keep going, man. This stuff is good, dude.
It's got a nice kind of golden,
you smell it?
Amber look.
You smell it?
Oh yeah.
It's good, man. Try it.
I think we're right in about half there.
Yeah, you're good. If you need more, man, you can drink out of that cup. It's good.
Oh boy, that is smooth.
I didn't overplay.
Do you know the
right?
IBU on that?
50.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
The Cochise out of Hygienic Brewing is probably just landed in the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
Nog.
good, man.
It's hard to put that in between Nog and
White Bluffs and then Three Creeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think that right now top 3. I think of all time.
You kind of draw a straight line and you put. Right now, I'm putting the Cochise, the White Bluffs Nog, and Three Creeks. I mean, the Crowd Pleaser, or what was the purple can that we had last time? The Subtle.
Yeah. Subtle Creek.
I mean, well, I'll draw a line and put those 4 on that same line for number 1.
Okay. Well, Todd, the brewmaster at Hygienic, man, does a fantastic job.
Oh,
so.
It's smooth. It's good.
So, hey, we've got a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff that you don't know about. I'm not throwing you any curveballs. I'm just letting you know. I know you start job tomorrow.
Yes.
The new job. Congrats, by the way.
Fly to Seattle tomorrow and then home on Friday.
It's always good to see somebody excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to move up and move forward and get back into something that I love.
You're excited to be on the podcast too.
Yes.
Yeah. So
as long as this new refrigeration job doesn't keep me out until all hours of the night, I will be here.
You're good, man. You're good. You can find a schedule and we can
I mean, you're up late, so we'll get together at 10 at night and do a pod.
Up late, up early. Yeah.
It'll all work out.
So, MMB Sports, right? I took the time to get the logo, paid the money. One thing I just think about is,
What's one thing you think about, man? I mean, you brought it up, so it must be something that you want to ask.
So one of the things that, because it was my notes before.
Okay.
My question was, when, where, how often, right? And since it was going to be, when we're going to do that, right? And since, it's the picks and everything else, I was just going to be like, just trying to get the mastermind mentality in there. So I didn't want to go too far into the sports. So you know what? I'm just going to keep MMB Sports on Instagram page.
I mean,
Barely.
I'm not...
Barely.
I was into sports a lot in high school just because I needed something to do. And I played baseball. I played football. I was a fan of hockey. I grew up as a kid playing hockey in Wyoming and Idaho. But since I had my boys, I've just kind of fallen off the sports because, Rhett isn't really big into
only,
it.
Though, man.
No, that BFO.
That BFO
Rhett
is great.
is into it.
Dude,
and now Ren, I'm sure he would love to get into that as well.
That's great.
Is that, oh man, bullfighting and rodeo, I'm all about that.
Oh, yeah. So,
but I just don't follow football or baseball.
One of the things that, after making the decision not to go for it or with it was what I wanted to be clear on was was it going to be regurgitating stuff from Fox, CNN Sports, ESPN, CBS, NBC? It has to stand out. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of people, up the chain that do that.
There's a lot of podcasts about sports that are commenting on
Correct.
the current games going on.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to do a sports podcast, it has to be really local.
Yeah.
And it has to be about the high school games.
So
the small town college games.
I was going to go like the Sun Belt, not the top 5 powerhouses, but like the Sun Belt, the MAC, the WAC, what else? The Sun West, the Montana, North Dakota.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. That's why I was like, when I was doing my picks, I was just like, let's just do the ones that stick out, the good games. And I'm pretty good at the good games, but you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep it on Instagram. So there goes that note.
Alrighty, just hit the floor.
Yes, note hit the floor.
But I will say that it is hard to comment on sports because there's so many people doing it.
Oh yeah.
And if it's a covered game, it's a covered game, and everybody's talking about the covered game. Right. It's very hard to find the locals, the small towns, like you said, the Macs, the WACs, the people who are in the Sun West, and get coverage on them and find out what they're doing.
Right.
Because they're not in, like, something like the Pac-10.
Pac-12.
Pac-12 now. Yeah. That just shows how long I've been out of the game.
ACC, SEC, Big 12, Big 10.
No idea.
Yeah. So, I did pretty good, man. I called the Michigan State game. So, as much as I am not force-feeding myself into the sports, I know when and how to read stats and stuff. But, hey, did you know the saying of the week? I do this every now and then. The saying of the week.
Okay.
The saying of the week this week is you reap what you sow. Do you know?
Like it.
Do you know where it comes from? It's a proverb.
Is it from Proverbs or Psalms?
Proverb.
Okay.
So you know what it means though?
Whatever you put into the ground is what you're going to get out. The man who sows his seed on good fertile soil is going to get good fertile crop. The man who sows his seed on rocky soil is going to get less crop.
I want my listeners to think about that. Mind blown. So, man, you guys, the merch, I have to shout that out. Redbubble.com, #MMB or Miles Mountains Brews. Okay? Yes, there's an OG sticker. Yes, that's discontinued. Whoever purchased one, let me know because I will give you your money back or I will pay for another original, one of the 3. The pod page. I appreciate you guys looking into that. One of the person that did that is my dad, Oh. So podpage.com.
With the original OG logo, I do have to say that I'm happy I ordered my hat so that I do have the OG hat. And now I can get the second OG hat and so on and so forth as this progresses and moves along. Because I don't have a hat that has your logo. Yeah. Which is the graffiti MMB with the beer slosh.
Great, right?
I think that's going to be my next one off of redbubble.com.
How do you do
#MMB or Miles Mountains Brews.
Yep. And then the podpage.com, it will have the Redbubble soon. Just trying to figure that out. I'm geeking out, man. Yeah. Every minute I can...
Figuring out all the little hints and hacks.
Man, yeah, but the podpage.com. Miles mountains, and brews. I know that's a lot of information, but man, what are your thoughts on joining Twitch or going on a Twitch or going on another podcast to lend a hand? Not lend a hand, but just
kind of promote.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely be down. Just as long as everything works schedule wise. Yeah.
And that's understandable.
I don't have any objections to getting on someone else's thing, or getting like, I guess what they call like the cross promotion or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Whatever we can do to help ourselves and people that we like and appreciate, I'm all for it.
So, one of those things, man, this Friday or this weekend of some sort, it's tentative. We're going to go on Twitch, whether it's both of us or just me. Going to go on Twitch with Esteban. Trying to get that set up, but it's tentative. Just watch out, guys. Watch out.
Pay attention to the Twitch.
Yeah, and Esteban's, I guess, what is it? What is it called? His, oh man, I can't even think right now. It's Bomb. B, I think a 0, N, B, 0, M, B. Bon. It's like almost like a bonbon, but bomb.
So B0MB 0MB.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's almost like MMB, right? Oh no, I'm kidding.
Pretty close though.
Yeah. So, and then not gonna say the podcast, man, just because the trust out there is short. Not.
It's thin right now.
It's very thin. So
as far as you can throw.
Next weekend, next Friday actually. Next Friday. Be on the lookout, guys. I will have that information closer to next Friday. I'm not going to say anything, but it is going to happen. It's going to happen. You know what it's called, man? It is called. Just think of this. It's a pretty unique podcast too on the East Coast. On the East Coast.
Are you talking November 5th or like November
next week?
Okay,
so
like
so
the
Twitch
11th.
Esteban is this weekend.
Okay.
Partying this weekend. The podcast on the East Coast, dude. It's next Friday.
Gotcha.
Right after work. So
not November 5th Friday, but the following Friday.
So the question is, I already got the question. What Thanksgiving staple would you do away with? So, hey, think about it. If you can make it, great. If you can't,
away with?
Yeah.
Like get rid of?
Yeah. So just think about it. Ponder it. Marinate it. These guys are pretty good. I've listened to them.
I'll put some more thought into it, but right off the top of my head, I have one that's going to stir the freaking pot.
Yeah? You say turkey?
I would do a ham instead.
Okay.
Because I love ham, and I will get down on that every day of the week for 3 meals.
Yeah?
Oh, for sure. There's so many ways you can do it.
Okay. So, man, shout out not only to you, but also to my brother. You guys have always been there from day one, right? So, my brother, Matthew, he made up a suggestion on how to win stuff, right?
Okay.
He mentioned to join Strava. It's an app. It, connects with all, like, the miles, the elevation, the places, the digits, where
so you can, like,
when.
upload what you're doing when you're doing it.
So, he mentioned, hey, this is an easy way to promote gear and to promote healthy lifestyle.
Was that Strava with a B or
Strava with the V van? So
okay, with a V as in van.
Yeah, STRAVA. I had to rejoin. I didn't like it, but he brought up a good point. He was like, hey man, join group. Make a group, join it. So, miles, mountains, and A&D Brews group, right? Challenge starts right after Thanksgiving. It goes to right before my birthday.
What's the challenge?
So, get this, man. It is miles, right? Elevation and time.
So MET. Miles, elevation, time.
Yeah. So it's either on elliptical, a hike, walk, ride, run, snowshoe. So
do you prove your stuff through the app?
yes, through the
By
group.
uploading pictures, or is it GPS oriented?
GPS oriented.
Okay. So if you're on an elliptical, how do you get your elevation? Or if you're on a stair climber, how do you get your elevation?
That's not part of it.
Okay.
That's not part of
Okay,
it. But the
I like
elliptical, they do have that. And I believe when it's like a Fitbit, you know, and all the other ones, you know, you just treadmill, or you do elliptical,
Okay,
or you do
okay.
stair climber, that kind of thing. But what I'm trying to do is just get people out and be, you know, just shed those pounds from that turkey, you know, that tryptophan. It will,
Or getting ready for the turkey and the tryptophan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do have some
Or
time
just burn
until
it.
turkey day.
or just burn it.
Yeah.
Just burn it. Burn it.
Let's get outside and get active.
I'm not a Thanksgiving dinner kind of guy, though.
See, I like Thanksgiving dinner, but I won't overeat. Like I'll have like maybe a spoonful of everything just to try everything,
I'm a
to be
tater
respectful
fan,
and
dude.
whatnot. Oh, taters, dude! We went shopping today and I got, I think, 3 or 4 different kinds of taters. Just in the sense of like tater tots, fries, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, you want to know the prizes? Okay.
What are they, homie?
All right, man. First person that wins in the miles, you get a hat of their choice.
So most mileage?
Most mileage.
Okay.
Okay. Time spent out there, they get one of those scrunchy bags. You know, one of those gym bags or those.
Like the Nike bags from the mid-2000s that close at the top.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have the
yeah.
drawstrings on
Yeah,
the sides.
yep.
Okay,
You
I
get one
like
of
that.
those.
I like that.
Some of the draw you've seen the merch, right?
Yep.
Those
Yeah, I've been
look
on
legit.
Redbubble. I've
Yeah.
been peeking that.
So, you know, the time they get a scrunch bag. But man, you know what? Good luck, guys. Elevation. I'm not going to compete, but I probably put my stuff.
Just put your numbers up so that people know what you're doing, but don't compete if that's a possibility.
I'm not going to compete, but you know what? I don't want to set the tone.
Or you can compete and just give second place as first place.
Nah.
Or however it ends up working out. Just don't participate.
So because elevation, gain, loss is my thing, go big or go home, right? I'm going to get a hoodie sweatshirt.
Full on hoodie?
Full on hoodie.
Is it the big MMB that you were wearing?
That's lightweight hoodie. That's
Okay.
legit, right?
That thing was awesome. He's got a hoodie right now. He
It
was
was like
wearing
the
the other day
Simpsons,
that I wanted to pick it up. I haven't seen it on Redbubble yet, but I haven't dove too deep.
I got it off of Redbubble.
Okay. So it's got the MM, and then the B is got the B font from Rainier Beer. It looks like a Rainier Beer can.
It looks like
but it's a B.
Yeah.
And it has a similar font, and the thing covers your entire chest all the way down past your belly button.
Yeah, it was legit,
I saw it
right?
and I was like, dude, I want one of
Yeah.
those. That is the deal.
Yeah, guess who came up with that?
Yeah.
My brother.
Really?
So, I mean...
Matthew.
Matthew.
Dude, shout out to Matthew for
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that.
Who finished it was Skylar. Shout out to Skylar. Circle Shape Love. Still rooting him.
Yeah,
Still rooting for him and praying
got him
for
a few times. Shouted him out a few times on the pod, but Circle Shape Love.
Yep.
Skylar, we appreciate you, man.
Still waiting for his surgery, his transplants, liver and lung. So yeah.
Throw up a prayer real quick.
Oh yeah. So, man, I could keep going.
Did you say you had some rapid fire questions for me?
Rapid fire questions.
Hit me.
How many do you want this episode?
Dude, let's give it like 10 minutes of rapid fire.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Rapid
let's
fire?
get it. I'll just give yes, no, or 10 words or less on the
Okay.
answer why.
One word answer.
One word answer. So yes, no,
Or whatever.
maybe. Mm-hmm. Okay, so those are the 3 options. Yes, no, maybe.
So first one.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Were these given before?
No.
Okay. Boots. When someone with experience tells you anything over 5,000 elevation is sketchy, do you bring them or do you leave them?
If someone has experience, yes.
One word.
Okay, yes.
Who's at fault? The experienced one or the one who thought it was wise to leave them in the car?
In the car. I'm gonna try to keep these short because you said one word, but they may require a little more.
So the person that left them in the car is at fault? Okay.
If you get advice and you don't listen to it, you're screwed.
Okay. 2. When you run out of water on the trail and a team member offers you some because you have 6 liters of water in your pack, do you take it or do you leave the group in a fit of rage and play victim?
Take it.
Okay. I like these answers.
I ain't trying to die. Take it.
Yeah. No matter how far away you are from the trailhead, right? Trailhead meaning the start.
If
or
it's offered,
wherever the truck is.
If it's offered, they're looking out for you.
Wherever
Take
the
it.
truck. Are you looking out?
If they're offering it, they're looking out for you.
Some people
Take
thought
it.
I was their father.
Just
Okay.
take it. Just at least be respectful, be nice, say yes.
Okay. All right. I like your answers. When canceling an episode, by the way, you can anytime. You can cancel an episode anytime, any day, right? Anybody can. I believe some people have. Do you think feel is because of you? Do you think because somebody cancels an episode, do you think and feel that it's because of you?
I think it's outside circumstances, not me.
Okay. Why would someone think or feel that?
Insecurity?
Or they know they goofed or somewhat. But
Insecurity because of a mistake made?
but there was nothing. It was just something happened. What if my daughter was choking to death? Okay.
Anything could make an episode cancel.
Okay. What's your number one highlight? It's places, treks, hunts. Number one highlight.
With people involved with MMB, just being together. My number one highlight is
Throughout your whole life. Your 25 years, 26?
any time I've spent in Wyoming or Idaho.
Okay. So more than the average person. Okay. Whew. When all someone wants to do is fight in your group, how do you or how would you handle it? Sober or not sober?
Sober, ask them not to come back. You are no longer welcome here.
What about not sober?
That is a sketchy question. I would have to be not sober to answer it.
Okay. So, fight or pushing others in the group, right? Doesn't sound like a healthy one, does it?
Hard pass on that guy.
Okay. All right. I appreciate your rapid fire answers.
Yeah.
All right. 14 hours in the car. In silence. After a chaotic trip. Do you feel it's a two-way street? Or does it lie on everyone but the instigator?
I would definitely try to ask what I did wrong.
Okay.
For sure.
But what if you didn't?
Because it is a two-way street.
Is it?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's at least to understand where the other person was coming from, it's got to be one way of conversation and the other coming back.
Well, there's three people there.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a three-way. You got to have.
That's not no
You
homo.
got to have conversation between it all. No homo at all. But
There's-
you got to
there's three people
understand where
there.
everyone's coming from.
Three people there.
In order to understand how you reacted and what's going on, you have to understand where the other people are coming from and what they're trying to do.
Okay. Man, I appreciate it.
Come on, question me, bro.
Is it okay to take on the team the entire time?
No, it is not. The only situation I can think of, and we can dive into ifs, ands, and buts all night long, but no.
So if another person was getting it, right, just nonstop getting it. This was not
Getting
a
it.
question. Getting it.
Making milestones, knows what they're doing, been there before, type of deal.
What do you do?
Listen to the person who's been there before and done what they've been doing. If you ignore it, you're kind of a fool for ignoring advice that's been there.
Okay. I tried to ignore it, though.
People that's been there. I mean, like, if you go hunting, you're going to listen to the guide. Okay. You're not going to say, I know what to do. If you've never been in the area, you're going to say, I know what to do. You don't.
Shout out to pheasant hunting, dude. I'm going to listen to you, dude.
Hey, and I don't know a lot, but I've got more experience than you because I've been out before.
All right. Exactly.
So let's go hunt.
But when it comes to mountains,
I'm listening to you, Nick.
Exactly. Well, hey, dude,
I'm just gonna be the pack mule in that case.
Some people believe that they're higher than the game and know more than the common person. So, if male hijinks offended you, would you tell us or wait until the end?
Me personally,
the next day. To take a fight of rage with the team. To take a fit of rage, a fight. For Lord knows whatever reason.
In the moment, I may be uncomfortable. And you'll know because I'm loud, I interact. When I get quiet, I'm kind of receding into myself. But I will say, hey guys, like, especially if we're in a campground with other people that can hear us. It'd be like, hey, like, you know, I'm cutting my hand at my throat right now. Like, let's cut down on that. Right? I'd let you know that I'm not like, hey, like, let's just at least drop our volume. Yeah. We don't have to stop talking about it, but let's drop our volume about it.
Have you met Sean?
I have not.
All right. No excuse, but, dude.
I'm excited.
He's a lovable guy, though.
I'm excited, too, because we have the February Brew Tour coming up.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. When someone asks you if you are leaving and you say no but leave anyways, how would you take it?
If I've never been in that situation where someone's asked me if I'm leaving and I say no and then I leave,
but you saw it.
I've seen it. I've been the like second party or third party to that.
Okay. But
it's pretty like, what the heck, man? Like, someone asked you straight up, that's your opportunity to be honest and say, like, yeah I'm going to bounce. And at that point, you're like, hey, cool, great. It was nice hanging. But if you say no, and then next thing we hear is a car firing up and you're out of here, it's like, what did we do wrong?
Right.
It makes you question yourself.
So, how would someone take it? Okay. Or should someone take it for what it's worth?
I think people should take it for what it's worth. I mean, actions speak louder than words, no matter what.
Especially
if you ask someone if they're leaving and they say no, and then they dip out, it's like, okay, what did I do wrong? Do you not like me? Is it something I did? Is it something about you? Or do you not like me? Like, is it an insecurity? Like, what's happening here?
But a family member bought so many pizzas for so many people.
Out of respect, I mean, just the way I was raised, I would stay and eat pizza. Okay. I mean, even if I didn't want to, I would stay and be like, even if I had my family here, I'd be like, hey, no, we're staying. You're going to have at least one piece. Just be respectful. This is how we do it.
All right. I know that was more than one word.
Yeah, a lot more than one.
But those crowlers, bro. It's spot on, right?
They hit.
They creep. So.
They don't creep, they hit.
Yeah. So, that leads up to, the whole leaving thing. If your date talks to another person of any sex, do you take offense?
No.
Do you take it personal? Are you jealous?
Because you don't know the background there. You don't know if they know the person. You don't know if they have history with the person. Whether it's through family, like, say that one of their sisters or one of their brothers dated someone, and you recognize that person, and you just want to say, hey, how's it going, and catch up real quick, because they may have been around your home as a younger kid, or a younger person, it's like, hey, just ask them what's going on. Like, hey, who is that? How do you know them? And don't be too intrusive about it. Just be like, hey, I noticed you talking to them. Like, what's up?
Yeah, okay. Do you leave and pay your own bill because thoughts and feelings are so unreal?
I think if you're the man in a date, just you pay for both. You take care of the woman, whether you are interested or not in her, just out of a respect thing. And that's just how I was raised.
Okay. Last one, man. I love these rapid fire.
Hit me.
Last one, man. You know what? I think I'm going to take this. There's going to be more. Not just on the subject, though, but just like in the future. You know, like the 0.5s?
I like this little rapid fire on the 0.5,
Dude.
0.75. Like, let's do
No,
it. And
it's 10.
I'll write down some for you.
It's 10.
It is 10 now, but in the future.
Okay. Last question, man. And this is the reason why the replacement. What if Sean or Nick talks to others on the trail? Do you become jealous? Do you think we are trying to set something up with them? A date, a quote-unquote session, Netflix and chill.
I hope you're not going to Netflix and chill with random people on the trail.
Yeah.
Because Netflix and chill has a whole different meaning than
Rated
talking
R
to people
and
on the
X,
trail.
right? Yeah, NC-17.
No, hey, if you want to be friendly, be friendly. I'm going to try to do the same because who knows? They might have a podcast that we can jump on.
Yeah.
Or they can jump on ours and promote theirs, or we can promote ours. Like, by all means, be friendly to people, talk to people, because how else are you supposed to find out local trails, local so-called honey spots, or good-looking places, good outlooks, waterfalls and hot springs in Washington State are big.
You're right.
So, I mean, that's the only way to find them. To find the little local spots is to talk to people who are out there.
But when somebody literally dissects the smallest things, let's say Sean touching a waitress,
they don't need
shoulder.
they don't need to be in the group.
Okay.
If they're gonna pick apart everything that's ever done or ever said, like I don't need that kind of energy in my group.
One thing I do enjoy is the fact that I can talk to my wife about everything and anything. I don't have to hide stuff.
And that's the beauty about having a healthy marriage is that
15
you can
years.
bring anything up.
15 years.
15 for you, 6 for me.
Okay. So.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
I appreciate
I'd
it.
have to do some math to figure out
Oh,
for
man,
sure.
you already
I know.
blew it, dude.
I just
You
brought a
blew it.
firestorm upon myself.
You blew it. So, hey, man, I appreciate
We had 4 or 5 pages of notes there?
I did.
I like it.
But it's all off the cuff, man. I had a lot of time to marinate.
Yeah.
Because this last week and a few days have been hectic, but I also been busy working. I'm always working, whether it's at my job or at the podcast. That's how I am working. And
You're always doing something. You're never idle. You're never watching a movie.
No. Well, I do watch movies a lot.
You do, but on your own time.
Yeah.
If it's supposed to be working time, you're working. You're putting in serious work.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how I got Twitch. That's how I'm getting on other podcasts. I mean, I don't know. I felt like eggshells. So, felt like I was walking on eggshells every day. So, with that said, you gonna party this weekend?
I'm planning on being there Saturday. I'm delivering a couple of safes Saturday during early afternoon.
Okay.
And then we're planning 4 at our place that we've talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be there about 4:35.
Yeah.
So
The kids can go to one of those, though.
The first one, right?
First one.
The second one is all
Second
just
one.
21 plus.
Yeah, 21 plus.
My wife is actually thinking about getting someone to watch the kids so she can go too.
Well, she got that free labor. Grandparents, baby.
Dude, grandparents and her sister.
How does Caitlin feel about this?
She's all in for it. She's excited for me.
How does she feel about that question, though?
The redhead question?
Yeah.
She
Off the cuff.
So she actually asked me to rewind the podcast when that question came up.
Right?
And
out of nowhere.
I mean, my exact words were, "It's spicy in all excuse me.
No, you're good.
In all aspects, it is spicy." Because she's redhead.
Right.
And I've got a 5-year-old son, soon to be 6, who's a redhead, and he has some sass to him.
Right.
And my 1-year-old, who just turned 1, Oh my goodness, that
Right?
little boy.
That was a great party.
If you're not holding him, if you're not picking him up,
Right.
he is screaming at you.
So
Redheads are spicy in just a general sense, whether it's female, male, wife, son, whatever.
So, dude, first time I ever went to a 1-year-old party was rad. I never. You want a beer?
I'll finish what you have.
There's nothing left.
Oh, jeez. Let's split one more.
Let's go mango. Truly.
All right, we'll do the mango.
Sean
truly
would appreciate that.
Sean,
listener.
here's to you.
Yeah. So, oh man,
I just popped that.
Cut you off. So, what was I gonna say? We were talking. Okay, yeah, Caitlin feels about this.
She's supportive of me, and she's supportive of you. She's supportive of MMB.
Yeah.
She has some ideas for you. We have a Christmas gift already in the works.
What? Not the OG,
Yeah.
hopefully.
No. No, I mean, maybe the circle, the OG circle.
Yeah.
But from there, I don't know. We have ideas. I don't want to give too much away.
So we're almost done.
Because
right?
I want to blow you out of the water with it.
Okay. Well, hey, don't even tell me. So the reason why, I remember now. I've never, ever had that many people at a party. But dude, your kids blow it out of the water, bro. 1 year old and they got so many people.
Dude, that was a huge party for the 1-year-old. I mean,
huge.
I have to shout out my dad, Kyle Hagen, for putting that together. My stepmom, Eula Hagen, for
she was into
just
the podcast
going
too.
all out.
She was into the podcast, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, my whole family has been all over it, and I'm excited to tell them that we have this episode coming out because everyone, I'm the oldest of 7 kids. Everyone's listened to it, including my 2 parents. 3 parents.
Did you know partying Friday, Saturday, three parties in a row, right?
Yeah.
Did you know we tripled our numbers?
Really?
We tripled.
For MMB, tripled.
On
Saturday?
Like a couple.
The day before Halloween.
Day before Halloween, we tripled the numbers. So I just want you to know that it's really not about numbers. It's just about love. Love outdoors and love for family.
Well, and
love for beers, but
the way that people show their love is by listening.
Yeah.
And giving us those numbers
by
the downloads, the listens, the people who are interested, the Instagram posts, the likes. Yeah. I mean,
so we're
not pushing for it, but we are appreciative of all of that.
And
here's to MMB.
Yes, cheers. So do you think exhausting our listeners?
They'll tell us when they're exhausted. They'll stop listening.
They've also told me a lot of things, and
I mean, if they want more, they'll keep listening, and the numbers will go up. At the point where the last podcast I was on was 2 hours and 45 minutes and change.
Bro, that was great, wasn't it?
It was a long one, and I loved it. And
we started drinking right then, and we
didn't even cover everything we wanted to, which is why we hit on the blues again today.
I think,
and the terrain of the blues and how great it is.
And the Cascade Crest, I think that was great for 10. I think 11 will be the local trails here or nearby trails.
Yeah.
So
let's get out and do it. Let's do some local ones.
Yeah.
I mean, Palouse Falls is an amazing place that many people know about.
Overrated.
Oh,
it's
dude.
Overrated.
During the springtime, though, when the runoff is happening,
it's the most polluted water in all of the state, dude.
It may be that, but you have the main falls. Have you been back to the secondary falls up above, where everything just kind of steps down and plateaus?
No, people fall off and die.
On the main falls. But no, we're going to go this spring. Me and Nick are going to go out to Palouse Falls. I'm going to take him back along the railroad tracks. And we're going to go to where the Palouse River, just before it turns into Palouse Falls. And it's an amazing spot. It's crazy, dude.
Okay.
We at least have to go check it out just so you can...
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. You good?
Yeah.
We done?
I think this is a good episode 10.
Dude, it's a great episode, man. So, hey, I'm just going to go on a whim.
What's your whim?
And just say some of you might notice a change in the lineup. Elephant in the room. It's been in the room for, I think, maybe since Three Finger Jack, right? I get it. I hope no ill will on anyone and only hope the best for that person. Until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, guys. Healthy lifestyle. Promote it. Love it. Love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys.
Stay clean and try your beers, guys. Experience the local business and just keep it local.
Oh, yeah.